Hi, children, and how are you, parents? Welcome once again to today, lesson 2, kindergarten class, and our topic is God's friends. God's friends. You know, all of us are God's friends, but there are these special friends that God uh, calls his friends. We are all God's friends. Don't forget, I am God's best friend. He is my best friend. But there are these special people that God considered friends, and we are going to learn about these special people today. So, children, don't forget, our lesson begins with creation, and we have looked about the marvelous, marvelous, marvelous creation that God did. Don't forget that God had made the fish, the types of fish, all of them, the tilapia, the Nile perch, the shark, the whale, all those that boom into the water. You know how sharks jump into the water. So the earth was just marvelous, everything around us. And I told you, he had reached a point. He missed noise. He wanted to make the world orderly, and so he thought there need to be communication. And that's how, because everything was quiet and silent, nobody was making noise. So he thought, I need to have some noise. And then that noise, you remember, the fish were jumping in the water, boom boom. And then, the birds in the air, they were squawking, they were cooing, they were everything. Then God remembered, he made the animals. And don't forget, the animals also have their own way of communicating. They make noise in the forest. Oh, those elephants can really talk. The horses, whoo, 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 all those animals, they can really, really talk. But now there are some special friends that God remembered he had not created. And he was planning to make man on earth. And that man and woman were to be God's special friend. You remember the fresh air, the sunshine, the broad daylight, the dark, the twinkling stars, the red, orange, purple, green, blue. Which flower color haven't I mentioned? All those colors, orange. God made them so beautiful. And we remembered one black one. It's called a blackjack. It's not a flower, it's a weed. But there is no color in the plant. Our plants have all the colors we would ever think of. And he created those animals of ours. We remember how even the zebra is black and white, and that black, you cannot even rub it. It's permanent, and it's really beautiful. The stripes, and they're so uniform. They are all drawn artistically. God did it so beautifully. So God did marvelous work. Kangaroos and bunnies, as they hop, 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 hop. You know how the kangaroos hop, hop. Let us all hop, hop, hop. And then the kitten, meow, meow, looking for the mother, meow, meow. Yes, let us all meow like the kitten, meow, meow. And the sheep that are so woolly. You know how the wool, or rather the fluffy on the sheep help us? Oh, I have a jumper. This sweater that is so warm, it's because of the sheep. The sheep, they cut off the wool, and then they make this warm sweater that I'm wearing. All your hats that you put on your head, and then the gloves that you put on our hands to keep warm, the socks that we wear, the baby shawls that we use to carry our children, then all those are made of wool. And this wool is gotten from the sheep. The sheep bite. The roosters, they crow, coo, coo, coo. Where the horses, as they gallop, you know how the horses gallop? Somebody can gallop like a horse. What a beautiful place. This earth was indeed marvelous, and it is still really, really marvelous. So God's world was perfect, but God wanted to do one thing. Let us make man in our own image. He said, so God made the shape of a man using mud. You do modeling, you use plasticine to do the clay works. Yeah, so God molded some man into this shape of mine, and then he pierced some eyes, and then the nostrils like this, and cut out my mouth so perfectly using mud, and then he made me like this, like this, like this, and then like this. And then he completed me all over my hands, and then he made them like this. And then I was a statue, dead on the ground. And then he came and did something. Do you know what he did, friends? God came and breathed into the man's mouth, the person he had made on the ground. So when he breathed into the mouth, this person started stretching. And then he opened his eyes. Only God can do that. Then when he opened his eyes, you know what he saw? He saw God. He beheld the face of our marvelous God. And he must have smiled, coming to life from a dead creature. Then now he's waking up to see the beautiful creator of the universe, our God. So God said, let us make man in our image. And then the man woke up and he saw God. And you know who this man was? Somebody can guess? Hands up, hands up, hands up. Yes, it was Adam. Adam was created. He was the first parent. He was the first to be created as a man. Then he breathed to him, God breathed, and then he woke up. God named him Adam. He led Adam into a beautiful garden and he told him, tender these plants. Make sure that you prune all the dead leaves. Make sure that this plant looks beautiful. And then he made Adam to look over after the plants in the field. And then this garden and everything inside belongs to you. Take good care of it, God told Adam. So God and Adam watched the animals too. And the animals were behaving so well. Adam saw all the animals and their mates. They were all having partners. It was a lady, a girl cow and a boy cow, a girl cat and a boy cat, a girl dog and a boy dog, and a girl what? And a boy, and a cock and a hen. And you know, so God created all the animals in twos, a boy and a girl, a boy and a girl. Isn't it good that the animals were in pairs? But then Adam felt so lonely. And God looked at Adam and said, he needs a partner too. So I will make for him a helper. So God made Adam to sleep. You know, they're in the hospital when they want to do an operation on you, they inject you and then you sleep. But God now was not doing injections. He would just say, Adam, sleep. And Adam would sleep. And then God removed a rib from Adam's body like this. And then from the rib, so that there would be connection between Adam and the new person that he's going to create. And this time it's a girl. He molded again the mud, put this rib, again breathed, and Eve came to be. And that was Eve. So Adam also got a partner. And this partner is called Eve. Eve and Adam were our first parents. So when Adam woke up again from the sleep the second time, he saw a beautiful woman. And this woman was Eve. He named her Eve. And together they would take care of everything that God had made. Adam named the woman Eve because she was the first mother in all the world. Adam and Eve are our first family and indeed our first parents. So God blessed Adam and Eve and he told them to have many children like mommy and daddy. How many children are you in your family? Oh, you know how many we are? We are 6. And teacher has 4 children. And all of you have family members. Your mom and daddy brought forth children. And you enjoy life together. You share that bread together. You share that cup of tea together. So God loved Adam and Eve. He wanted them to be happy and he wanted to be his friends forever. God watched Adam and Eve every day as they enjoyed the beautiful earth he had made. He had created the entire week. Everything was very, very good. God was satisfied. It was perfect. And indeed, Adam and Eve enjoyed what they were seeing. And the evening and the morning made the earth's 6th day. And that is when God made Adam and Eve. So that is our topic, God's friends. So who are these God's friends, children? Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve. And they were made to do some work. What was the work, children? They were meant to take care of the Garden of Eden. They were meant to tender the crops and make sure that they do not wither and die. So, our message, children, in the topic God's friend is, God made people to be his friends. God made me and you. Why? So that we can be his friends. God wants me and you to be his friends. That's why he created us. That's our message today. Then our memory verse, children, comes from the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 26. Genesis, chapter 1, verse 26. And it says, God said, let us make mankind in our image. God said, let us make mankind in our image. God said, let us make mankind in our image. Genesis chapter 1 verse 26. Let us make mankind in our image. And that's how God made Adam and Eve. God bless you, children.